This is Giraffe in a G-string.
What's up, boys and girls, cats and squirrels? Your boy Third Eye Shooter, and today, another episode of Giraffe and a G-string. I know this is going to be the second episode I've dropped in 1 week, but I told you guys I want to be a little bit more consistent, more concise. So I've been seeing this, well, I started seeing it last week when it first started happening, but now I think I comfortably want to do this. So I want to talk about something that's been in the media, social media, whatever, for about a week and a half now. It's Jonah Hill. Before I get to like how I feel, I just would like to say that what happened to innocent until proven guilty? Johnny Depp, Aziz Ansari's, Jonathan Majors, Jonah Hill. These are just a couple names. If you Google, you'll see how the entire world painted a picture based on a very small part of a story. On top of that, it's also, I never knew so many Inspector Gadgets were out there who can read a text message and deduce and create an entire environment based on what you think, your interpretation on a text message thread you've never texted. So I have a couple notes here, and I just want to, go over them. So one of the things I keep hearing about is it boundaries? Is it misogyny? I just want to ask you a question. Who seems insecure here? The person who told you, these are my boundaries, these are my hard no's, this is what I will and won't accept. And hey, listen, if these are too much for you, maybe this isn't for us. And when you say, yeah, I can't do that, they goes, all right, cool, thank you, bye. Moves on, gets a new girlfriend, has a child, or the person leaking text messages from months ago that's still single. That's all. I just feel like that's another thing that we've kind of like, we just mull over. Someone will accuse a man of something, the entire world just believes the man 100% did it. They destroy that man's reputation, and then when it comes out the woman was lying, it goes, oh, okay, just don't do that again. So Johnny Depp, for about 10 years, had his entire life destroyed by Amber Heard. She gave him what? $10 million, and now she gets to be an Aquaman too? Like, the ramifications and like the punishment for being a liar and destroying a man's life tends to be very like slap on the wristy for certain people. A little bit weird. Aziz Ansari's. Aziz Ansari's went on one date with a woman. She didn't like the date, so to her, he was like the worst person ever. Tried to destroy his career, and then was like, oh yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe I did overreact. Jonathan Majors was just in an Ant-Man movie. He was accused of something. Marvel dropped him. They pulled Army commercials. I think his talent agency dropped him. Do you know how stupid you must look to hear a fragment of a story and then create the entire rest of the story solely based on your individual experience and your individual interpretation on something that you have no part in? So it as a man, it scares me, because it's like, I would love to, I want to be successful, but then at the same time, it's like, with success, does that mean I'm going to get a SA charge or like an allegation that'll then derail all of me? And then in a couple weeks or months, the girl will be like, oh yeah, she lied. And then she'll get a slappy on the wristy. I'll then have to put the pieces of my life back together, because everyone will be like, oh yeah, he's a rapist. He's a terrible person. He did that. And then you go on YouTube and see a Henry Ford assembly line of a bunch of people just going, oh yeah, and I'm a clinical psychologist, and this is what I think of a text message based on what I don't know. Because I don't know if you realize this, text messages have no tone. Unless there are grammatical punctuations, there is no tone in a text message, unless you're Siri or a robot. Now, let me say this. Let me preface this. I'm in total support of criminals being punished. If if you rob someone, if you're scamming people, if you're raping people, if you're SAing people, if you're doing anything that imposes your will on someone else that doesn't want it without consent, go to jail. You deserve to be there. There are no qualms about people who deserve to be in prison, which are criminals. I have no issue about criminals being penalized for their crimes. None at all. What I do have an issue with is that it seems like over the last, like, maybe, let's say, 7 years, there's just been this, like, wave of cancel culture trying to destroy men, right? And then the destruction of these men doesn't happen, but the women seem to just be able to float and live their lives A-okay. There's something a comedian said a while ago, and you can look it up. It's on NBC. They don't interview men who engage in pedophilia. They don't interview those. But you know what? I can type in school teacher and 16-year-old boy. There's a palaver of interviews with grown women who laid down with little kids, teenagers, and got pregnant. They was like, oh, he was just so charming. Could you imagine if a 40-year-old man said, oh yeah, this 16-year-old girl was just so charming? I had to. In fact, Chris Hansen has a whole show, To Catch a Predator. You notice how To Catch a Predator majority was just men. However, in the news, they always like to highlight, oh, and Sarah didn't mean, the teacher who was 34 and had a husband didn't mean to sleep with 13-year-old Timmy. According to her, Timmy was just so clever and cunning and knew how to speak. Or is it that she's a predator? And it seems like whenever you're a certain type of predator with a certain type of gender, you get a little bit more leeway. Now I'm saying, again, if you're a predator across the board, you should be put in jail. That's how I feel. If you're a predator, you prey on children, the weak, you deserve to be in jail with other people who prey on you. I like the dichotomy of that. Oh, you're a predator who preyed on the weak. Now when you go into jail, you have warriors who prey on you. So how tough were you really ever? Now, it bothers me because, like I said, what happened to innocent until proven guilty? You stole my jelly beans. Yep, you're a jelly bean thief. There is no more like, hey, let's check his pockets, let's look at security cameras. Nope, he's a jelly bean thief because this person said so. Okay, cool, great. Thanks. Now, in lieu of this, I want to bring this up. This woman's name was Jemma Beale. Jemma Beale, whatever her name is. Jemma Beale, I think back in 2010, I think it was 2010 or 2010, she lied and said 9 men SA'd her. Lied on 9 separate men. And I think it was about, before she got convicted of her crimes, it was about 4 years. So she made the allegation in 2013. By 2014, she was arrested and given 10 years in prison. Now, I'll put the story up probably next to me. That's why I have more space, because I want stuff there. There needs to be stuff here to fill up so you understand what I'm talking about. But it's weird because when a man is accused of something, he's immediately destroyed. But a woman, you can lie for 3 years about men doing things to you that never happened, and those 9 men just had to live with the fact she was lying, and society was like, yeah, these men definitely did it. And what even bothers me even more is that, like, when you type in Jonah Hill, instead of seeing his accolades, you see, like I said, a Henry Ford line of people just bashing, smashing, and trying to smother this man's name, what he's worked for, what he's achieved, based on a text message. Now, again, like I said, like I asked you in the beginning, who seems insecure? The person who told you what they did and didn't like, a person who gave you an option, was like, hey, listen, if you can't adhere to the things I'm asking for, maybe this doesn't work. And when maybe this didn't work, he went elsewhere and started a family. But now, and this is another thing that's always baffled me, is that, like, if you're, like, again, I'm not trying to, like, badmouth anyone, but if your idea of speaking out is crying in front of a camera and then editing it and posting it, That's not a cry for help. That's a cry for attention. Help is going to the police. Help is calling a 1-800 hotline. Help is going to someone that you know can help you. But help isn't going to someone that can't do anything. Now, again, I could be wrong, but I know if I got jumped by 9 people, what I wouldn't do is jump online and talk to TikTok, Twitter, or Twitch. I would talk to the authorities. I would talk to people who knew how to fight. I would talk to people who maybe know them. But what I wouldn't do... How's this one look? Nah, I get that one better. Come on, it's silly. But that's where we're at now. And that's another thing where I mentioned in the last episode was that's the problem with society, where we live our lives through this thing, a cell phone, right? So all the information that comes through that we take, cell phone. No one fact checks any door. Okay, yeah, Instagram says that this is false, so I have to believe what Instagram says. But didn't Elon Musk buy Twitter and prove that there were government, alphabet organizations controlling and manipulating Twitter? So if Twitter can be controlled by government-regulated organizations, you think Instagram isn't? How many times has Mark Zuckerberg been taken to courts for stealing people's information, selling off people's information? Money's power. And unless you're part of that 1%, trust me, you're part of just information being stolen. They put oh yeah, let's focus on Keke Palmer. Executive order, executive order. Oh yeah, let's focus on Jonah Hill. Executive order. Passing bills, money to another country, wars, secret agendas. We won't know until 2 months from now. I have a friend who's really big on trading and stock market, and he'll post these things, and you look at them, and then you'll find the correlating thing that goes, okay, wait, why did this medical thing? Why did this one medicine go up? And then you look and oh, that's why. Okay, got it. So wait, why did this go up? There always seems to be relations between how the stock market works and world events. But again, back to Jonah Hill, I just feel like a lot of these people who are on Instagram, on Facebook, or whatever app, whatever social media platform, anyone who's living vicariously just bashing Jonah Hill based on a text message some woman said. Again, I have no problem with men, women, whatever you identify as, but my problem is when we just blindly believe anyone and everyone destroy men's careers and then go, in the wake of it, so do we apologize? Do you know how fake you must be if for years you were like, yeah, Johnny Depp, you're guilty, and then you watched the trial unravel, and you were just like, damn, for months and years now, I've just been wrong and dumb and stupid, and all my opinions have been disproven. Do you go back and delete all those videos, or do you keep them up as a reminder of hey, maybe I don't just jump to conclusions because I really put an ass on my face because I'm an ass face now? I just and then that's another thing, these words, I'm gonna put it up here, I've been seeing this word a lot, misogynistic. Sometimes I want to ask people, when I hear people say the word misogynistic, do you know what it means? Do you understand what misogyny is? And I feel like nowadays people just say words because there's a sense of tone deafness and understanding and comprehension. It's I'm going to repeat words I heard a lot on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, and hopefully it means something. Or I'm just going to repeat words I've heard other people say, not knowing the definition, and hoping it holds a value in a context that's unknown to its user. How do you comfortably say words out your mouth that you don't know the meaning, but you want someone else to hold true? And then again, so Jonah Hill's so terrible, so misogynistic, so insecure, so controlling, he was able to leave that woman, find another woman, they love each other, and they have a child now. Where's your child? Where's your happy, healthy relationship? Or have you just been dwelling on something that happened months ago, blaming a man for literally just telling you that, hey, listen, I know who I am, and I know what I don't want, and I know what I'm not willing to engage in. Because for more times than none, whenever a man explains his wants, needs, and desires, it gets bashed. It gets bashed. So I'm not gonna do the whole what Fresh and Fit does and what all these other. I'm not doing that, and that's another thing. I don't want you guys to think I'm a red pill, I'm a blue pill. I'm no pill. I'm what George Carlin called a free radical thinker. Instead of when people tell me something, I go, oh yeah, that's it. No, I'll sit down. Let me sit down with it. Let me sit down. Let me mull it over. Let me run a different types of point of views in my brain. Let me just kick around in my think box for a little bit before I just jump to conclusions and make myself look really stupid. I didn't want this to be a long video, completely drawn out. I'm gonna get this out as soon as possible to you guys. But yeah, typing in Jonah Hill's name and just seeing all those people comfortably just like with conjecture, no idea. Yeah, and I've been a clinical psychologist for 2 years, and this is my thing: boundaries or for the person. Yeah, boundaries are mine. But I also have to let you know where my boundaries are, so either we can continue this journey or we can end it. So how is it misogynistic if I tell you my boundaries and then at the end of my boundary list, I say, hey, if this isn't for you, we could split our ways? Doesn't seem controlling. It also seems like he's not insecure. He knows his boundaries. And he's comfortable with losing someone who isn't willing to operate within parameters that make him comfortable. I don't know, just call me crazy. I don't mind. Call me crazy. But don't call what you guys are doing logic, because it's not. It's not logical at all. Oh yeah, Jonah Hill's a terrible person. He's misogynistic. And then they're like, I'm so happy people like other celebrities, I think it's Robert Downey Jr., Seth Rogen, James Franco, and a couple other people have said, hey, before we just destroy some man, maybe let's wait for everyone's story to come out. But then let's be honest, what story should come out? So to give this girl any more publicity, does Jonah Hill then have to come out and go, oh yeah, yes, we dated. Yes, I told her this is what I wanted. She couldn't do that. And then does he just put his arm over his new wife holding their beautiful daughter and go, oh yeah, this is how I moved on? And he looks at what healthy, happy boundaries and understanding looks like. Because again, I always find it funny. You women will repost, oh, Justin LeBoy, oh, if you don't cash app up $15 million on Friday, you don't really like her. Okay, cool. What environment do you think that's creating? If we are just giving women money, attention, all they want just for existing. Queens and princesses had to work for those titles. You just want me to treat you like a queen for what, breathing? But in the same breath, treat you like a queen, but I ain't shit, you independent, you don't need no man. Men are dogs. It's just weird. As a man, I love being a man, but it also sucks being a man because I know that the spaces men have are being vacuumed out by what society says. Oh no, it's okay. Yeah, no, don't be masculine. Don't be ambitious. Don't pursue your dreams. Just. Oh no, it's okay. Yeah, you could be a woman. Yep, you feel like it, right? You feel like a woman. Yep, you could do that. Oh yeah, toxic masculinity. But toxic masculinity is a thing, but there's no such thing as toxic femininity. There's no such thing, again, the word misandry exists. So, again, not to be a long video, Giraffe and a G-string, merch is coming soon, more consistent episodes. I'm working on getting people to come in. So if you're watching this video and you would like to have a conversation with me, please feel free to reach out to Third Eye Shooter on Instagram. Dude with Locks, that's my personal page on Instagram. Message me on YouTube. I really haven't one. I don't think I need. I haven't had any like interest on creating a Twitter account, but I may have to for this. But that was really it. Like, I'm gonna put all the links and everything else in the proper places. So thank you very much for watching. Bumblebee Tuna. Peace, love, and hair grease. Namaste. Have a good one, guys.
This is Giraffe in AG String.